to, but let's start from the beginning. So how did you even come up with the name Sluggo?
But actually, it was a friend of mine from high school, grammar school, leading into high school. He started teasing me with the name. I don't know if you're young, so you don't remember the funnies from like the Sunday's paper. There used to be a character in there named Nancy, and the little dude that used to be with her name was Sluggo, and he used to wear this little Kango. So I made the drastic mistake of wearing a Kango like that to school one day, and my guy, one of my friends, he's still one of my best friends, made a joke about me looking like Sluggo. And at first I didn't know what it was. Somebody was like, I know you're talking about the character in the Sunday paper. So, of course, for a while it was a joke. Hey, what's up, Sluggo? I used to get angry about it at first, but then my uncle always used to say, hey, if you want somebody to stop calling you something that you get angry about, just start answering to the name. So
that's right.
Sluggo, I'm like, hey, what's up? So then, my cousin Gino, who I'm probably sure you're gonna ask that question, who's taught me how to DJ, told me call yourself Sluggo, DJ Sluggo, since everybody call you Sluggo, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? That it works for me. So that's how it came up. But it's definitely a character from the Sunday papers from back in the days.
That's official. So you mentioned your school. What school did you go to? Elementary and high school?
Beethoven High School, DuSable.
Okay. So what hood you from in? Like what part of Chicago you from? What hood?
State Street, Vulture City.
Vulture City. That's notorious Vulture City with the movie was made there as well.
Correct. My boy Marcus.
Yeah, Carruthers.
Yeah.
Carruthers. Yeah. I got bro coming on for an interview in a couple days. Actually, I'm finna interview him.
That's my dog.
So, that's the business right there. Like that's wonderful right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how did you even link up with bro to, make the Vulture City soundtrack? How that work?
We were from the same hood. Like, I was the older cat. Marcus was one of the guys that came up under us. So, we all from the same hood. Everything back then was family oriented. You know what I'm saying? Whatever buildings you was from, you kind of like stuck to your area. We went outside the area, but everybody that was in our area, we kind of like clicked up in our area. If you was in that area and you was in these particular buildings, then everybody was more family oriented according to the buildings they grew up in. You know what I mean?
So you mentioned the brother earlier who taught you how to DJ.
Yeah.
So was he? Yeah. So like, was he from the same hood? And you seen him DJing around the neighborhood?
He's actually my cousin. He's my cousin Gino. He's from the same neighborhood though. I lived in 4950. He lives in 5001. It's my bigger cousin. They used to throw all of the parties down there in the buildings and whatever. And, I was intrigued by it. Like, oh, that's dope. Like, man, you should teach me that. And, he took me under his wing, showed me how to do it. And the rest was history after that. You know what I
mean? So, how long was the process of you learning the skills?
I'm still learning today, but to pick up on what he was teaching me, the basics, it took me maybe 2 months, maybe 3. But I practiced a lot. Like I really wanted to be better than them. So every day after school, I do my homework, practice. Come home from school, do my homework, practice. Every day was that. That was my whole daily routine until I felt like I need to get up to where they at. So the only way I'm gonna get there, I gotta practice every day. I didn't want to beat them. I wanted to be better than them.
That's real. That's definitely real. So, after the 2 months or a couple months after really getting the basics and understanding how to DJ, when did you get your first gig?
High school. My first gig was in high school. The DJ canceled on the school dance. And some of the students was like, hey, he know how to DJ. And they was like, you know how to DJ? You got equipment and all that? I'm like, yeah, and then that's what really made me take it seriously, because when they gave me the check after the party, I was like, wait a minute. So I can get this type of money doing this? And yeah. Okay, well, this is what I need to do then. This is better than the job. So
That's real.
Yeah, so that's what made me take it real seriously. Once I actually saw money being made from it and said, all right, cool, yeah, I need to do this. And then I just took it full scale after that. Like I had made up my mind and was determined I'm gonna live, eat, and drink music.
That's real.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, back in them days, what type of music was it? What music was you DJing when you was coming up or when you started?
Actually, before the rap scene came, it was all house music. Everybody was going to the house parties. And then, NWA stepped on the scene, Boogie Down Productions stepped on the scene, Airbnb Rock, people like that. The New York rap scene hit Chicago, and the LA rap scene hit Chicago. And then it was a mixture from there. So me being a DJ had to adapt to what was going on. So I play house, but I also play rap as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, but our house music, Chicago is the mecca for house music.
Okay, and I'm happy you say that because you got other people who say it's Detroit. Detroit got house music too out there.
Numbers don't lie. Anybody can say
right,
but numbers don't lie. Just do your history, do your research, and you're gonna see house music is based, started, born, and raised in Chicago.
That's real. So what year did footworking start?
Footwork is new, so it maybe footwork maybe 2000-ish, something like that. Footwork is
really.
It was house music. Then it was us who they considered ghetto house or booty house, and then from that it was juke, and then from juke it was footwork.
Wow. Okay. Wow. And that's official right there because a lot of people don't know that history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's some history right there. That's real history.
But I tell people all the time, the majority of it, at least 50% of it is documented. So you can't hide it. You can say what you want, but at some point something's gonna come up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube to either prove you right or prove you wrong. But the history is, it's fine and detailed, and you had to actually really be there to be able to even tell the story. So if you really want from the old school house days, like you really can't tell the story of Chicago house music. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to be around in that time to watch the growth. You had to watch from the house music to the ghetto house to the juke to footwork. You started when it came footwork, or you started when it came juke. You can't tell about ghetto house and house music. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's real.
You got to be one of those historians.
So, when it comes down to that, so who is the forefather of ghetto house then?
Okay, so for house music, you got the Farleys and Steve Hurley's, Terry Hunters, Gene Hunt, Lil Lewis, people like that. For ghetto house, you got me, Dion, Milton, Waxmaster, Jammin' Gerald, Funk, D-Man, Milton. Who else? That's basically it, like the forefathers. And then when it comes to Duke, you got like the Rashads, the Clints, Spin, and then they a mixture of both because they was into juke, but they also started doing a lot of the footwork stuff when it came. So they like juke as footwork, just like we house / ghetto house. They more juke / footwork. So those would be the juke and footwork. But Gant and Puncho are the guys who coined the phrase juke.
That's history right there. A lot of people don't even know where the phrase juke comes from.
That's where it came.
We all do juking.
People think juke is a dance, and it's not. It was a phrase from back in the day. It's like we always use bang it, let's go. Those was our phrases in the records. Gatnam didn't want to do that, so they used to put their little spin on the records, juke it. You know what I'm saying? So, and they got it from us saying like, man, what's going on with the party up there, man? The party juking, and that's what. So that's what. Then they just coined the phrase like juke it, and Everybody started saying, well, we're going to the juke parties. I'm like, juke parties? All right, okay, if that's what y'all want to call it, okay, fine, that's what it is, you know. So that's where the phrase juke came from.
That's real. That so you being from the low end, you know, and being a famous DJ from the low end, did you travel throughout Chicago and DJ, or most of your you know, everything low end?
I've been all of the hot spots in Chicago. Yeah, so well, you know, the great thing about DJing, as long as you know, not affiliated with a lot of riffraff, you could go anywhere. And we were fortunate enough to be the DJs that could go. And you know, I DJed out west, up north, the east side. It didn't matter. You know, if you was paying, I was coming. So it didn't matter. So I was fortunate to be able to DJ anywhere in the city. There was nowhere that I didn't go and DJ in Chicago. So that's why I'm so well known, because I didn't mind traveling. If you want me to come out west, I'm gonna come out west. You want me to come out east, I'm gonna come out east. Same thing with the south side and the north side. If it's a decent place, and you know, I did a lot of hole in the walls back then, places other people wouldn't go. You know what I'm saying? So that's it grew on my name. Like up north, when I remember doing parties up north in an old funeral home.
Wow, yeah, crazy.
It was crazy back then. Yeah. But I mean, we had good times. It was good times back then. It wasn't as crazy as it is right now. You know, so.
Right. Yeah. So speaking on that, so was the crowds back in the days more cool, calm, and collective than the crowds of today?
Wait. It was more structured back then. That's what I say. I say structured, like guys was more organized back then, where, you know, it wasn't no riffraff. There were rules, you know what I'm saying, things that you could and could not do in the parties, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, you know, the stuff that's going on now, you know, fighting women and, you know, shooting wives, kids outside, things like, it wasn't like that back then. Now it's just the Wild West, you know what I'm saying? Like, anything goes, broad daylight, midday, it don't matter. So the difference was it was a lot more respect back then. That's what it was. It was a lot of more respect for what was going on. Because one thing that people knew with our parties is if you kicked a fight off, we probably would punish them by like not throwing a party for 2-3 weeks. Like, okay, y'all want to fight? Let me know when y'all calm down, y'all get yourself together, then we'll throw another party. Because people would ask, man, you doing something this weekend? Nah, y'all told to play something last weekend, so I'm gonna chill. You know what I'm saying? So people would say to people who finna start a fight, like, man, look, you gonna fuck it up, man. If you fight, they ain't not gonna do nothing next week, man. Like, don't fuck it up. So people were more reluctant to not fuck the parties up because, and then, you know, one of the main structures back then was a lot of men was more into women back then. It wasn't no us bouncing around with our partners and all that. We came to the party to come up. You know what I'm saying? We was coming to the party, find something slick, see who was dipping off with who at the end of the night. But now it just be guys in one corner, the girls in one corner. I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, this is a party. We supposed to be dancing and grinding up on something. And you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't standing over here with no 7, 8 guys. No, I'm gonna get over there. Shorty them over there. I want to be in the crowd with the women. I want to see which one of them I can dip off with before the night over with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like night and day now. You know what I'm saying? The parties back then to now it's night and day. It's a big difference.
That's real. So have you ever had any situations where, you know, some brothers ever tried to take the equipment or, you know, or anything like that? You ain't never had, because I mean, you in the streets, and I'm just saying you in the hole in the wall spots, and you know, niggas be grimy. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the two things that was great about me. Growing up, my hands, I got good hands. And then if it wouldn't go to the hands, I didn't mind. And back then, in those days, I didn't mind. If I had to defend myself with a firearm, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? And so I earned my respect back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I earned like, I'm not tolerating you taking nothing from me. I'm not tolerating you harm me. And I'm a man. And as a man, no other man or no female do nothing to me that's gonna harm me. You know what I'm saying? I got kids to live for. So at the end of the day, You stay out my way, respect me. I stay out your way, respect you, and that be that. But taking something from me, I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay,
you know,
understood.
especially Mike.
That definitely.
You're not gonna take the stuff that I use to feed my family. I gotta fight for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta. If you get it, you definitely ain't gonna get it that easy. You gonna definitely. It's gonna be some bruises and some cuts, some wounds. You know, you leave with this equipment. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've seen guys go through it though. I know guys who have had situations where, you know, people done took their cameras and people done took their equipment and things of that nature, but you know, they put themselves in them jams and them situations. You know, you gotta watch who you affiliate with. You gotta watch what you say to people. You gotta watch what you say on camera, things of that nature. You know, watch, you know, it's just a respect level. You know what I'm saying? I respect you, you respect me. And if you cross that line, then we'll deal with it when you cross the line. You know what I'm saying? So that, I tell people all the time, I'm not the baddest man in the world, but I'm a man at the end of the day. And then, as long as you stay within the spot where you don't disrespect my manhood, then we're good.
That's real. You know, I didn't have some fans want to ask you the question of how do you feel about people in the industry and DJs especially biting your style?
It's a compliment.
And I give you the props.
It's a compliment for me because I was brought up where it's enough money for everybody. Like as you can see through the pandemic, they gave out so they print money is printed. You know what I'm saying? So you're in a situation where if you run out of money, they are never gonna stop printing money. So for me, I just look at it like it's enough money out here for everybody. You just find your lane. And if you got to bite a little bit of my style in order to find your lane, I'm okay with that because it's a lot of people who play the music I play and make the music I make, and it's never stopped me from $1. You know what I'm saying? So you're not in my way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm established as an artist and as a DJ. You have to know who you are. You got to know who you are and what you're capable of doing, and you wouldn't have to worry about no other man. If you know who you are, you know what you're capable of doing. Even if you did the same thing I done, you ain't gonna do it like me. I'm different. We different. I'm gonna do it one way. You're gonna do it another way, but we both doing the same thing. Because you got to look at sports. The average people who get mad about stuff like people biting their style, things like that, really probably never played sports. Because you got Kobe who wanted to be Mike. You got Mike who wanted to be Dr. J. You feel what I'm saying? He took a little bit of Dr. J out, mixed it with his. Same thing with Kobe. He took a little Mike, mixed it with what he had going on. So it's like it's enough basketball and enough money and enough DJing for everybody. It's a lot of DJs in the world. And when I say a lot of them, I'm talking about when they drop these little controllers, everybody's a DJ. Now they in their bedrooms, they turn it up, they got their speakers, especially these guys who got parents that are well off, you know what I'm saying, who got finances to get them this type of stuff to keep them from being in the street. If I gotta buy you a controller and some speakers and some records and stuff like that to keep from being in the streets, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of younger cats coming up as DJs, which is good because for me, I look at it as a great thing because it keeps the craft alive. You know what I'm saying? If you're not doing it, then your craft is dying. But you cannot talk about DJing and then speak about the ghetto house or house music and not mention us because we're part of the history. So I always look at it as a blessing. Like as long as if these kids still doing house music, footworking and all that, I'm part of history. So you gotta go back to the history to find out what's going on now. So you can never forget about it. So I don't ever worry about I never worry about other DJs, them biting me, nothing like that. That's people that got a lot of hatred in their heart. Now I tell them, man, I gotta pray for you, man. You got a lot of hatred in your heart. Like let these little brothers eat. Let these little DJs eat. Let these brothers eat. Everybody want to eat. As long as you're not snatching chicken off my plate, we good. You feel what I'm saying? You got your plate. I got 6 wings. You got 4. It's cool. I just got a couple more wings than you got. It's all good. At the end of the day, we both got chicken though. You know what I'm saying? We both.
That's right.
So that's why I tell my DJs, my block club DJs, like man, every man needs to look at his own plate. And if you got some extras, and you got a DJ that ain't doing so well, get a man a couple of wings. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing wrong with you. You got a 6-wing dinner, and that man over there starving. You wrong if you don't get that man 2 wins. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's just it's a mutual thing. You know what I'm saying? Like being selfish. That's what people rob you. Selfish, and you got 6 wins, and I'm thirsty, and I'm looking on your plate, and you ain't gave me. Because if you give somebody who thinking about robbing you 2 of your 4 wins, I think he gonna change his mind. Like, no, you man, dude, and he gonna tell his other robbing buddies, no. When I was hungry and I needed, dude fed me. He good people. Ain't no robbing him. You rob him, you gonna have a problem with me. So feed your people.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta feed your people. And that's wisdom for all you DJs out there. That's some wisdom.
Feed your people.
That's real right there. So when did you or did you ever, or I know you did eventually, you had to because you still here, you're a legend. So like when did you start getting into the business side of DJing, meaning like contracts and understanding, you know, how to negotiate? Because you from the hood, you from the projects.
Well, you know
what I'm saying?
You know who I could thank for that? I don't know if you're familiar with the legendary Traxter.
Traxter, yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
you know, I come up under Traxter, my cousin Lucky, Matt Hennessy, who was R. Kelly's engineer. I came up under, I was enough to be able to come up in the Seawall days. And
that's right.
I got a chance to watch it all unfold. So I'm watching the contract deals. I'm watching how they do business, and it's basically a free lesson, a free business lesson for me. Like, oh, why y'all signing that? Well, we got to make sure this. Watching Twister sign contracts, watching Do or Die sign contracts. Things that oh, you got to get half your money up front. Oh, okay. If they cancel, you get to keep that. Oh, okay, I understand. Oh, it protects you and protects them. Oh, okay. And then, you know, I'm a person who asks questions. I don't care who it is. And I can sound dumb when I'm asking, but at the end of the day, I'm asking if I don't understand it. So if I don't understand something, I just ask the question like, hey, why are you doing that? Or what did y'all do that for? Or hey, why did he say that? Or what did he mean when he said that? Or what kind of business transaction is this? You know, or how do you mix this? Like Matt Hennessy, I got on his nerves so much, man. Like he's a super dope engineer, like one of the dopest engineers in Chicago. And I bugged him every day. Teach me, you know, train my ears for me. Teach me so I can be better than the average DJ. I can hear and produce better than the average DJ and producer because my ears are trained. You feel what I'm saying? But because I sat in the room with a person, like I'm gonna be here every day, right behind you every day until you teach me what you know. And if I gotta sit here and learn, and then I'm a good, you know, I can watch and learn. You don't have to tell me anything. I can watch what you're doing. And then I'm one of those people that will go get the same piece of equipment you got and try everything I saw you do in the studio. I'm next. So I'll watch you play with a drum machine. Okay, he did this, he did that. And then I'll buy the machine, go home and play with it and do everything that I saw you do. And then try to figure out how to work it myself, you know, do my own, put my own little mix in there, like, oh, okay, let's do that. And I read, you know what I'm saying? Like just one of the other things they taught me was, if you ever want to learn something about a piece of equipment or something that has a manual to it, the first thing you do is open the box and then read the manual before you even open the piece of equipment. You read who can teach you how to use something better than the person that made it.
That's right.
And that's where people always skip past user's manual. They see that little book and it be about that thick. Motherfuckers be like,
yeah.
Oh no, I'm different. I'm like, hell yeah, I gotta see it. And if it take me 2 or 3 weeks to read that book, and then I start working on machine, and you've been working on your machine for about 2 or 3 weeks. When I finally open mine up, I'm gonna know way more than you know. Even though you've been messing with it for like 2 or 3 weeks, I'm gonna know things that machine do that you ain't gonna figure out no matter what you do, unless I call and tell you. So
that's real.
Reading is fundamental, man. I tell people all the time, man, just read the manual. Pick up some books, read. You know, just educate yourself as much as you can, especially when you got a trade. When you got a trade, and that's what DJing is, it's a trade. you gotta perfect your craft. You know what I'm saying? You can't say you're a DJ and then just be playing around with it like this ain't nothing. Unless it's a hobby to you. See, DJing and producing for me, it's my livelihood. It's how I eat. So somebody who does it as a hobby, we're never gonna have the same conversation. We can't talk. Our conversation is different. I DJ, produce, and do music to survive. You got a 9 to 5 and you do music on the side. The conversation is different. You can't even have these conversations with me because I'm trying to figure out where this next check coming from. You already know where yours coming from. You know what I'm saying? So that's
real.
That's the severity of the DJ.
So when you got so many talented brothers who connected to you family wise, did you get your first equipment? Like you had to go hustle up and get you a little job or something to buy your equipment, or did you have like hand-me-down equipment?
Well, I was fortunate. So I had an uncle who was in the streets who was very well off. And my cousin, who actually taught me how to DJ, they were DJing in the playground one day by the buildings. And I was excited because I knew how to DJ now. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if you don't really know much about the low end, but when the parties was going on the low end, it used to be, I mean, people everywhere, packed. And the DJ was the popular person. You know what I'm saying? If you knew how to DJ, you was, you know, the popular person, like, oh, he cold. So I knew at this time, this particular day, I'm like, I'm cold. And I got to show them that I'm cold. So I asked the DJs, like, man, let me get on. And they wouldn't. They was like, no, like you. And then my cousin turned to me and said, man, you probably need to get your own equipment. So I went upstairs, got a notepad, came downstairs, wrote down all of the model numbers and the make and models of the equipment that they had, took it to my uncle and said, I need you to help me get this and I'll pay you back. He took me to the store that weekend and bought everything that was on the list and said, I believe in you. And that was it.
Wow.
Never looked back.
Never look back. And made a legend right there.
All brand new equipment.
Wow.
Never look back.
That's real, man.
Yeah.
So when did you realize that you were the legend in this DJ world? Like when did that hit you?
I look at it. People say that, and if they, you know, my thing is, I know I've put a lot of work in. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what you consider legendary, then okay, I'm okay with it. But I've nowhere near reached to like in my frame of mind of what it is that I want to complete and things that I want to do. I'm like 50% there. So at this 50% status, everybody's saying I'm legendary. I'm okay with that. That's cool, and I appreciate all the love and the respect. I'm only halfway there. You understand what I'm saying? So I can imagine what happened when I get 80%. You know what I'm saying? 90%. So you know, I mean, but I put a lot of work in, bro. I put a lot of work in.
You did.
And everything I have, I didn't get it. You know, it wasn't given to me. I took that one gift from my uncle, and I earned everything else after that. I kept my word to him. I told him, man, you do this for me, man, I'm gonna go crazy with it. I'm finna be so dominant in it. He believed. He was like, I know when I get this, you finna shut it down. I already know. He was like, these boys ain't ready. And he said, hype me up. Like, man, they ain't ready. He be in the crib with it. They ain't ready. Boy, I can't wait till you break this equipment out. And one day I just brought everything out in the playground and was like, let me show these people what I'm capable of doing. And it was it. Actually, the guys who used to throw the parties down there didn't even throw no more. It was like, nah, I'm throwing the parties now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the next up. You know, when people be saying I was determined. No, I'm next up. I'm next up. Y'all need to get out of my way. And if I got to battle y'all in order for it to happen, then so be it. So I've had a few DJ battles where, and you know, I'm about a good 25-0. You know what I'm saying? So I got some historic battles where people, you know, thought it was sweet and went down, you know.
Okay.
It's put some
that's real.
on, you know, but I practice, I practice. And when you practice, you prepare for it all. You know what I mean?
That's right. I definitely agree. So, I mean, with you saying that, man, like, what is some of the historical battles that you done had on the DJ side? Because, a lot of people
Well,
do not, we a lot of us young guys, we don't be knowing. So come on and lace us with the history,
it's
man.
the thing that I've learned about battles. And from back in them days, they'll give y'all the history. Like probably when I'm gone, they'll be like, "Oh, I remember Slugo battle such. Oh man, they went this way." But I never give them shine. The way to keep them dead and out the way is I never even tell you their name. I let you do the homework. Like, no, he lost the battle. He's dead. You know what I'm saying? If I mention his name, I revive his name. No, I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? So that's what people don't understand about battles. Like, if you notice when once I beat you, I don't even have to no more. You lost. There's nothing to talk about. Your job is to come back and figure out how to defeat me. So I'm never mentioning you in interviews or nothing. I learned this from a rapper too. I'm never mentioning you in interviews or nothing. Like you're dead, and I'm gonna keep you dead. You're gonna have to revive yourself in order to get back up in front. It's like a championship fight. You got to go fight 7, 8 other, 9, 10 other people before you can get back to me. You know what I'm saying? So, and hopefully you don't get knocked out before you get to me. If you get knocked out, you never make it to me again. Oh, such flawed you already. You done. So I keep them I keep dead and out of there. But people will tell you about it. If you do your history, actually my guy Suave is on here. He was one of the guys watching me from a shorty. So can tell you a lot. Suave, matter of fact, you need to interview him. Suave the Lyricist. That's his name. Suave the Lyricist. And he's one of the guys, rap-wise, I bet the house, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like he's that cold. You know what I'm saying? So he's buried a few rappers. Like they know who he is. Like they don't want that. But he watched me in the battles, in the gyms, in the rec centers and places like that. So, I've had my few battles where people, well, I think I'm colder than him. Well, I mean, ain't but one way to prove it. Let's break out the equipment. Right. Yeah, let's break the equipment out and do what we do. You know what I'm saying? So
okay. Man, you just took me back because when I used to go to the party, it used to be on 111 Michigan, the Y, Union Hall, Prince Hall, you know what I'm saying? So man, just those were the days, bro.
Yeah,
for real. Yeah. Those were the days. So your man's Chank, he said he on here too. He shouting you out too, Chank.
Oh, what's up, Chank? Yeah, I see. I know what that is.
Yeah. So he just wanted to shout you out or whatever the case may be. So how do it feel, to be like a generational legend who give all this knowledge and wisdom to all these different DJs? Because the block, you call it BC, right?
Yeah,
the DJ. Right. So how many young brothers do you have under your wing?
I think we about 30, 35 deep. We about 30, 35 of us. But I was taught that at a young age. If you only way you can keep the skill, you gotta teach it to somebody else. In the process of teaching other people, if people were smart, in the process of teaching other people, you be learning yourself. And not only learning, you be, sharpening up your skills. Like if I'm teaching you how to DJ, I'm going back and reminiscing stuff I used to do. So it's really like practice for me. So every time I'm teaching something on a daily, I'm practicing and I'm staying sharp. And then as a youngster, you might tell me something that's going on with the new technology that I'm clueless about. You like, oh, well, with the new Serato, you don't have to do that. You could do this. And oh, okay. Well, with that, you could do this. And I'm saying, okay, well, I'm learning while I'm teaching. So, but you would never do that if you don't teach nobody. You know what I'm saying? If you want to keep everything to yourself, if you're going to be selfish, you ain't going to win at all. I don't care who you
That's
are.
real.
So
that's definitely real.
Each one teach one. You keep on teaching. The more you teach, you got to think about this. If you teach 50 people how to DJ, it's 50 guys out there that's like you. You know what I'm saying? And it's 50 guys out there speaking your name every time somebody start talking about DJing and they in the room, your name gonna come up like, oh, he told me.
That's right.
And so if you got 50 people walking around the city talking about you taught them, you do the math. You know what I'm saying? That word of mouth is the biggest promo ever. If I'm in a room full of people and people in there discussing DJs and I'm a DJ and they gonna be like, man, how you get in the DJ game? Oh shit, Sluggo taught me everything I know. And if you got 200 or whatever people walking around saying that, man, the rest is history. You know?
That's real. So that's why I brought the question up, because I know it has to do something to your mental compass. You know what I'm saying? When you inspiring so many young brothers, to change their life and helping them in a way that can change their life and provide for their family. In these critical days of times where so many wild brothers out here and so many crazy things going on. That's why I gotta take my hat off to you, because there's nobody who taking brothers under their wing and want to show them a way or help them to make a decent dollar, not a illegal dollar, but a decent dollar. So I take my hat off to you for that, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man.
That's definitely real. So what's some of the new projects you got coming up? 2021, man. What you working on now?
My birthday was just the 14th, and I dropped two. I did a record with my guy in London named Steven Lopez, and then I did another one with my guy. I think he in the UK. Big Dope Pete, that's his name, and we just dropped two smash singles. One is called Work, Shake, Move, and then the other one is called Roll It Up. So both of these records are out now on all major platforms. Actually, the Work, Shake, Move record just went number 3 or number 2 on the charts, in the dance charts. So, these records, you hear these records, when you hear these records, it don't even sound like something I would have done. And both of these guys are, see, this is what people don't know what's the word I want to venture out into others, people, I don't know, they got this black white stuff going on. I don't see color, bro. Like the only color I see is green and blue. That's the money colors. Like at the end of the day, like I always tell my Caucasian buddy, I don't got a prejudice bone in my body. If you do music, you could be Asian, black, Puerto Rican, white, I don't care. But if you a musician and we both can get on the same level doing this music together, then we can get some money. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm about that. And then I love music. You know what I'm saying? So if you got the same love for music I got, I don't care if you gay, straight, whatever. I don't care what your sexual preference is, none of that. Like, we do music. And music, if people don't understand like how people are who love music, like I love music, like it's a whole different ball. Like, I'm liable to harm somebody talking crazy about music. Like, dude, like music is the reason that I'm alive to this day. You feel what I'm saying? Like the lifestyle we was living, the things we was on, music saved my life. So I don't want to have no other conversation. You know what I'm saying? So, like when it comes to that, man, it's like, it's like I don't know. Music is, and then these two records, when you hear them, bro, you just gonna be like, damn, that's Sluggo. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people that hit me up like, what you on? Like what kind of, especially the Work, Shape, Move record. When you hear that, you're gonna be like, that don't sound like no juke music. And then the other one, the Roller, it ain't no juke music. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that rave, hands fist up, fist pumping music. So
yeah.
You gotta be versatile, man. You gotta be able to change with times, and you gotta be able to take your production and mix it with somebody else's production, and then y'all come up with y'all little gumbo and put it together and try to come up with something great. So, I there's nobody I won't work with. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's a person who don't love it. If you don't love music, I ain't working with you. But I can tell by the studio session or if you send me some stems and I listen to the stems, like, man, you're not really into music. You just try to do something. But if I hear something, like I heard these records with these guys, it was like, Lord have mercy, these records, it's gonna be phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? So when you get a chance, Go check when they both on Spotify. They doing real good on Spotify right now. You know, it's just a blessing. And I dropped them both on my birthday. So
happy birthday. Happy belated.
Thank you, bro. People was tweaking like, damn, we dropped 2 records on his birthday. So and I did it with they're extremely excited about the record. So, you know, I got a few more coming. I'm working on an album right now. I don't know if you remember the group Daft Punk. The group Daft Punk, they're not together no more. They just split up this year or last year. Big enormous group from overseas. And they actually did that Work It Harder, Stronger, Faster, the record that Kanye sound. That's them.
Yeah.
They got a record out called Teachers, where they mention all of the Chicago DJs that influenced them in their sound. And us on there. And so they called, the record is called Teachers. It's basically like we the guys who taught them the sound and, you know, what did. So I got the record out. My next album is called The Teacher. So I'm working on that. So, yeah.
That's official. Y'all look out for that. Y'all support, bro, with that one. Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be a while because I want these records to be, I mean, I can't call myself a teacher and then just put out some garbage. Like these records is going to be, they have to be like, when people hear it, like this ain't nothing like what he's had in the past. And so, of course, I'm going to have a few juke records on there, but I'm venturing out and I got singing people on there. I got people playing instruments on there. I just want to it's a lot of stuff I've had in my head that I wanted to do, and I'm saying, no, I'm going to do it all on this album. You know what I'm saying? So bringing in bass players, trumpet players, people, you know, like if I hear an instrument in my ear and I'm saying, no, this record needs a xylophone, I'm not going to use the drum machine. I'm going to go find a person who plays the xylophone and tell them exactly how I want to play it. Play that, let me sample that piece. Well, let's work it out, figure it out, whatever it is you want for that, whatever it is you playing. But everything that I'm going to sample and piece together is all going to be from live instruments.
They're going to be cold.
Oh, yeah.
Cold, yeah.
I'm excited about this. Like I'm excited about this album more than any record I've ever done. Like I'm excited. I'm excited because I'm going to be able to get in the room with a lot of musicians. I don't know how to play instruments. So watching these guys play instruments, and I've always wanted to play piano and play a guitar. So I'm going to be sitting with these guys and learning as I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that may be synthesized is the drums. Like I'm not find no goddamn drummer. I'm not finna do all that. I just use drum machine. But the sounds though, all the sounds, you know, I'm gonna use live instrumentation from different musicians. You know, so
that's real. And that's what's up right there. Yeah, hey, that's wonderful, my dude. Like you using your creative abilities to, you know, take things to another level at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, you know, make you a legend. You know, being able to be creative and do things of that nature. You know, because some people just stay on one, you know, like tunnel vision with their music. You know, and that's all you hear is the same stuff over and over. You know, you talking about, you know, bringing a whole nother vibe to the whole music scene. You know, a whole different sound, especially to us Chicagoans. You know,
you know, the juke is cool, and I love it because it made me who I am today. But I want to make juke. I want to bring juke, the flavor of juke, into singing and into, you know, I want to do like juke R&B, you know, juke jazz. You know what I'm saying? I want to get the jazz sound but juke feel. I want to get the R&B sound but with a juke feel. You feel what I'm saying? So that's my goal. My goal is to make this album like universal, where if you like jazz, you still can't say you don't like this album. There's a jazz juke song on there. You feel what I'm saying? You know, and I don't really listen to, you know, dance. I listen to R&B. I got some of that on there. It's some R&B. It's a female on that blowing her heart out on that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of them albums I'm gonna try to do where people can't have. The only reason you don't like it is you just hate. You just don't like me. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, you can hate me, but love the music. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta rock with me to rock with the music. If you hear a dope record or you hear a dope sound, don't hate on the music because you don't like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't take it out on the music. So I'm trying to get that sound where people hear it and be like, yeah, I don't like him, but that record's dope. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
you know, and I've had, like, there's some people I'll be like, I don't really rock with him, but nigga, that record dope. You know what I'm saying? So I rock with them. And when I hear a dope song, even if I don't like you, if it's an artist I don't like, and then it's not really not like them as a person, it's just I just don't rock with the way you carry yourself, or you did something. I said, nah, that's you know, that's, you're a weirdo. I can't believe you did that. But if you make a dope record, it'd be like, but when it comes to him making these records, he's a dog. You know what I'm saying? So, and I gotta respect that. You gotta respect somebody who's dope at what they do. You know, no matter who they are, person, if they dope at what they do, you know. That's why when people was asking me about the R. Kelly situation, I was like, his personal life really ain't got nothing to do with his musical life. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of people didn't know how to separate the two. You know, they said cancel him. I'm saying, how? How you gonna cancel somebody who's my? This is my every slow song I grew up on. 50% of them is him. So it's like, how do I cancel that person? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can cancel him as a person. So when somebody's saying, "Hey, you want R. Kelly to sing at your wedding?" Nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I can still respect it there. You know what I'm saying? Or I can tell the DJ, make sure you play some of the step shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because you can't play step and not play the man. How? You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
So 90s R&B and not play the man. How you gonna not do that? You know what I'm saying? So you know what he do in his personal life, he being punished for it. You know what I'm saying? Like let God deal with that man. You know, you as a human being, you ain't strong enough or got the right to be dealing with nobody like that, man. Like how you gonna counsel somebody, man? Like that's crazy. I never understood that. Like, yeah, we're gonna counsel him. I'll be like, why though? Like counsel him as a person. Don't shit on him, because you got to think about it. If you cancel him and cancel the music, what about all the records he wrote for, the people he wrote for? You gonna cancel them too? You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
For Isley, you talking about Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, people like that. Like he wrote for these people. You gonna cancel these people too? You know, so you just cancel him as a person, and that just basically be like you don't rock with him, but don't get mad at somebody else because they not up with what you up with. Like, nah, that's your decision. If that's what you decide to do, then you as a human being